Oh my god. Oh my god. Finally happening! It's happening! I've played a decent amount of gacha games in my life, and I have played a decent amount of Persona games. One of my favorite games of all time is probably Persona 5 Royal, so I was definitely excited when they announced Persona 5 The Phantom X. Then they only released it in China. But, I thought I could wait till the global release, and now a year has passed. But now that we actually have an announcement video for the global release, if you don't want to watch the hour-long video, I thought I would just do a quick little summary and give a little bit of my thoughts on it. Since the game is already out, you might have already played it or you've been keeping up with it. But if you don't know anything about the Phantom X or the Persona series in general, for a quick little synopsis, Persona 5 The Phantom X is a Persona 5 spin-off gacha game. The story is an alternate timeline of Persona 5 where our main cast, the Phantom Thieves, are able to wield personas to fight shadows. They are able to enter the metaverse, which is an alternate dimension where people's most twisted desires manifest. For the Phantom X, instead of following Joker as our protagonist, you follow Wonder. But don't worry, Joker will be playable in the Phantom X, and was the first banner in the Chinese version, so it is possible we do get him on release. The Phantom X spins the Persona 5 story of stealing people's twisted desires with stealing people's stolen desires. They live in a world with people who feel hopeless and have their desires stolen by others with twisted desires. So you're still going into palaces of people with corrupt desires and stealing their treasure, just like in the main game, but now you're doing it to stop them from stealing other people's desires. And if you don't know what a gacha game is, it's basically instead of getting all the characters by just playing the game, you essentially have to roll on a limited banner character to have a certain percentage of getting that character. You get the in-game currency to roll basically by grinding the game a lot or spending a lot of money unless you are lucky. It's essentially just gambling but for anime characters. Also, when the game releases, you technically won't get the full game. Usually around 2 to 8 weeks there will be a new update that contains a new character to roll on, new main or story side mission, or new minigame modes. To get the best part out of the way, yes, there is a release date, June 26th, so it seems like with a little bit over a month, we get to start playing the game. The one interesting thing though that I did see is that it's only on iOS, Android, and PC. So there's no console release yet. I believe they did say in the past that they were gonna make a console version, and most modern Atlas games are on console right now, so I don't doubt that they will make it in the future. Now, I'm gonna say this lightly, but there's no indication that there is an English dub. I know, but there was no mention of it, and even on the Steam page, it says there is no English audio, just subtitles. But maybe I'm wrong. They could just be waiting to announce it, but I would not get my hopes up. I've been seeing a lot of people getting excited to hear their favorite characters again in English, but there is a good chance that won't happen, at least for now. Which, hey, I could be wrong. Honestly, I hope I'm wrong because I would love to see the game in an English dub. My frustration with the long-awaited release kind of went away pretty quickly when I saw how apologetic they were for how long it took. They even constantly spoke directly to the Western audience, showing that they understand how important the series is to people in the West. They stressed that they wanted to make sure that the game was able to be localized in Japanese and in English, not for only the release, but for future updates. Because it is a live service game, there are going to be constant updates and constant new stories, so it seems like they just wanted to make sure that they could be able to keep up with this for multiple regions. Me personally, I thought before this that the reason they took so long was because I heard it did not run great on PC, so my assumption was that they wanted to optimize the PC version before launch, but that's just all speculation. I think of course Atlas wanted a polished game before they released it in their home country. They also went over some of the introduction to the main cast. First we have Wonder, our silent protagonist, who is a second year at Kotatsu Academy, who awakens to his persona powers to hopefully rid the world of corrupt desires. Another phantom thief, Motoha, one of his classmates who is extremely kind and sincere to a fault. We also have Shun, another Persona user who is taken in as an apprentice at a ramen shop, but then is forced to quit, which events lead up to him awakening his persona. Another Phantom Thief is Rico, a third-year student who is the chair of the school's disciplinary committee and is the heiress to a major corporation. I feel like this character is the quintessential Persona character. I feel like every Persona game has at least one character who fits that description, or two characters who might fit half of that description. One of the major themes I did see with all the characters is that it seems like they're dealing with some sort of trauma. I'm assuming facing this trauma is what leads them to awakening their personas. The characters that they did mention that I thought were actually pretty interesting were the characters that they called Phantom Idols. They described the Phantom Idols as cognitive forms of people that the protagonist meets in his daily life that appear as Phantom Thieves. So it seems like the actual character doesn't come with you to the metaverse, but instead you get this cognitive form of the confidants that we interact with in the real world as Phantom Thieves in the metaverse, which I think is actually a pretty cool way to add more characters but not have like the Phantom Thieves be this huge group. Oh yeah, and instead of that fuck-ass cat, we get an owl. So the game is now officially available for pre-registration on the App Store, Google Play, and Steam, which, if you played a Gacha game before, you know what that means. Pre-registration rewards. So they did mention that at 200 pre-registrations that we get a Wonder outfit, and at 300,000 we get an avatar frame and a profile card. I also checked their site too, and it looks like there are other reward goals that have already been reached. So it looks like on release, we are going to get 10 free contract pulls and 5 free weapon pulls. So that's basically the summary of the announcement video. Again, it's just an announcement video, so I assume more videos are going to come out in the future, going into more details about certain things. I'm really excited to play the game. I did not actually expect it to be coming out so soon, but I've heard some good things about it. So let me know in the comments if you are excited to play the game, what you're excited about, and if you wanted me to do more Persona 5 The Phantom X content, or just Persona content in general. But yeah, that's all I got for you. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate if you stayed around this long. And if you could give me a like and subscribe, it really helps me out. And I will see you in the next video.